Peter Obi defeated Tinubu hands down in Lagos, despite all the rigging. And the race for 2027 has begun. They want to try as much as possible to demonize Peter Obi and his movements and all what he stands for before 2027. And it didn't start today. It didn't start with the claims by Akande. I will take you back to 2024, to the claims made by Mr. Abayo Ononuga, the special advisor for your information and strategy for the president. When some people were planning a protest, I think it was in July, end bad governance protest, he tweeted on the 20th of July, accusing Peter Obi of being behind it, claiming that those that were planning the end bad governance protests were Peter Obi's supporters and that they were being sponsored by Peter Obi. And Peter Obi even had to instruct his lawyers to write by Ononuga, asking for a public apology. So this didn't start with Baba's interview. It is an orchestrated ploy to demarket Peter Obi, demonize him, and ensure that he's rejected in the polls in 2027.
This man is reacting to the video of Chief Bisi Akande saying that Mr. Peter Obi and the Obedient Movement planned the Endsars protest in order to stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from contesting the 2023 presidential election.
Obedience were behind the Endsars.
We're behind the Endsars?
Yes, it was manufactured from America and so brought in just to stop him.
But Obi, who are the obedient?
I said the obedient.
So who are the obedient? So who are the obedient?
The obedient came from America to do the Endsars and later became a movement to form a party, and they couldn't form a party and join whichever party.
You know, I thought obedient was tied to Peter Obi.
Well, maybe Obi's party, I don't know. Maybe Obi's movement, I don't know. But the obedience were behind the Endsars.
So it was well planned.
Planned, organized with a lot of money.
From America?
From America, yes.
I told you all yesterday that what Bisi Akande is trying to do is to rewrite history. They want to put it in the mind of everyone that the Endsars protest was caused by an Igbo man to stop a Yoruba man from becoming the president. So what this man is revealing is that they are trying to demonize Mr. Peter Obi. They are trying to reduce his popularity ahead of the 2027 general election. And if you look at it critically, you will agree with this man that everything they are doing so far is to clip the wings of Mr. Peter Obi. What Mr. Peter Obi did in 2023 is something that no politician in the history of this country will ever do. And Mr. Peter Obi did this with an unknown, relatively Labour Party. Did it without spending much money. Mr. Peter Obi did this with the help of the citizen. Mr. Peter Obi campaign in 2023 was a citizen-driven campaign. The citizen campaigned for him. They sponsored his campaign. What other politicians are spending billions of naira to do, Mr. Peter Obi did it with little funds. Again, that election was an indictment on the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Prior to the 2023 general election, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was being seen as a leader of the Southwest. They don't call Tinubu the Jagaban for nothing. Jagaban means kingmaker. That means Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a kingmaker. Tinubu ruled Lagos for 8 years, and during his period as Lagos, he was being touted as the best governor in the history of Lagos State. Tinubu was said to have built Lagos from scratch. They said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu drew the master plan of Lagos State, which other governors are following. Without Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Lagos State would not have been what it is today. That is what they've been propagating about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Lagos State, even though we know that that is not true. Lagos State was the capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lagos State was built by the colonial masters. Most of the key governmental institution in this country is sited in Lagos State because Lagos State was a center of excellence, the center of administration of the British colonial masters. So they built Lagos State before they left. Lagos State can attract development on its own without the help of any governor or any master planner. But the truth remains that Lagos State has been misruled for many years, because if Lagos State has been ruled effectively, I can tell you the fact, Lagos State will be better than most cities in the world. But now Lagos State is being rated as one of the worst cities to live in the world. The 2023 election was a litmus test to the popularity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but something dramatic happened. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was resounding beaten in Lagos State. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was widely beaten by an Igbo man that has no heritage, no link to Lagos State. Imagine being touted as a kingmaker in Lagos. Imagine being touted as someone that drew the blueprint of Lagos. Imagine being touted as the master planner in Lagos. But an Igbo man that has no heritage, no link in Lagos, beats you widely in Lagos State. Despite all the rigging, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was still beaten in Lagos State. As a matter of fact, Tinubu did not get 25% in Lagos State. He was resoundingly beaten by Mr. Peter Obi in Lagos State. That was an indictment to his person. That was a catastrophe, a disgrace that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will never forgive Mr. Peter Obi for. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president, which is the most important thing. That is what his supporters will say. But we all know how that election went about. We all know that Mr. Peter Obi won that election. What Mr. Peter Obi did in 2023 has presented him as the biggest political figure in the history of this country. There is no politician that can challenge Mr. Peter Obi's popularity now, not even Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you conduct a free, fair, credible, transparent election in Nigeria today, Mr. Peter Obi will be announced as the winner. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is aware of it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing everything possible to discredit the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi, and that is why you are seeing attacks on the personality of Mr. Peter Obi. Remember, prior to the August 1st End Bad Government protest, the essay to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Bayo Onanuga, said Mr. Peter Obi and the Obedient Movement are the ones responsible for this protest. They are sponsoring this protest to undermine the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, BC Akande is coming up to tell us that the Endsars protest was sponsored by the Obedient Movement and Mr. Peter Obi to stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from contesting the 2023 general election. All this thing is geared at attacking the personality of Mr. Peter Obi, because they see Mr. Peter Obi as a credible candidate. They see Mr. Peter Obi as the main challenger to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They want to do everything possible to stop Mr. Peter Obi from going forward to contest in 2027 general election. Because anything that will make Mr. Peter Obi to be on the ballot, it will be very difficult for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to emerge as a president in 2027. They knew what they did in 2023. They will not do that same thing again in 2027. It will be very, very difficult. They will not switch off the IRF. IRF will be used. INEC will announce the result in real time. And they know that if that happens, Tinubu will not win the election. So they want to do everything possible to remove the main challenger. They have gone to Labour Party and attacked Labour Party. What is happening in Labour Party is not just a party crisis. It's not just a leadership crisis. Before Mr. Peter Obi went to Labour Party to contest in Labour Party, there was a leadership crisis. But when Mr. Peter Obi joined the Labour Party, he solved the crisis in Labour Party. The people that has took Labour Party to court, they withdrew their cases from the court. Labour Party went on to have one of the best elections in the history of this country, even though the power brokers colluded with INEC and the judiciary to deny Labour Party the opportunity of producing the presidency in 2023. But how come Mr. Peter Obi is unable to solve the crisis that has erupted in Labour Party after the election? This is because an unforeseen hand is behind the crisis in Labour Party. Money has changed hands. And the people in Labour Party, they are more concerned about getting money than becoming a national party that will help the Nigerian people. As it stands now, Labour Party is in crisis. Labour Party is in disarray. It is not even clear if Mr. Peter Obi will contest the election under Labour Party. But Mr. Peter Obi has been making a secret move, and they don't know the move of Mr. Peter Obi so far. They don't know if Peter Obi will contest in Labour Party or will form a coalition. So, while they are waiting for Mr. Peter Obi's next move, they are doing everything possible to dent his image. They are doing everything possible to diminish his popularity. But unfortunately to them, the Nigerians we have now, they know better. They knew what happened in 2020. As a matter of fact, Deji Adenuga, a known critic of Mr. P2B, came out and said that he started the Endsars protest and he is not an obedient or a supporter of Mr. P2B. And Dipo, a non-supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, told him that he is a liar and mentioned the people that started the Endsars protest, and the people he mentioned are supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So you can see that they cannot really use the Endsars protest to diminish the popularity or lie against Mr. Peter Obi. People know the truth. Peter Obi has not even made his intention known of contesting the 2023 general election. Before the Endsars protest erupted, Obedient Movement was not even formed. Obedient Movement was formed in 2022, and it's a coinage of the name Mr. Peter Obi. These are supporters of Mr. Peter Obi. And this movement was formed after Mr. Peter Obi left the PDP to the Labour Party. But it's quite unfortunate to see an elderly statesman like BC Akande involved in spreading falsehood, involved in lying against the personality of Mr. Peter Obi. They can do whatever they want to do. They can carry out their propaganda. After all, this is what they are known for. A government that is more involved in propaganda than in actual government work. They can do whatever they want to do against the person of Mr. Peter Obi, but it will never diminish the personality of Mr. Peter Obi. It will rather keep increasing the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi. This was what they tried to do prior to the 2023 general election. They even accused Mr. Peter Obi of being the one that drove Kaduna Nzogu to go and murder Tafawa Balewa. They said Mr. Peter Obi is the one that created IPOB. They said all manner of things against Mr. Peter Obi, but that did not stop his popularity. This also will not stop the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi will keep getting more popular the more they keep mentioning his name. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.